Hi, I'm Beth Shepard with the University of Florida Brevard County Extension Service, and I'm here to do Facebook Live today. I'm super excited about it. We're making Crabby potatoes. I love crabs. They're awesome, they taste delicious, and there's so many variety of them. There's such a variety, it's wonderful. The other day I had some golden crabs, and so one of the things I did with any of the extra picking I did was to make this recipe, and I love it. So let's get started. Well, let me tell you what I did first. I already baked some potatoes. This would be one that I had just washed, and what I would normally do is either put it in the microwave and cook it that way, or I'd put it in the oven and cook them that way. These I pre-cooked this morning at 350 for about 40 minutes, and I just put them straight in there. I always like to when I'm going to turn my oven on, I like to use it for multiple things. So yes, my family is planning on having brownies later so that I could utilize that heat that I had in the oven, especially during the summer. But let's get started. One of the things that I do once I'm done is I have a cooked potato. I would cut it in half because we are going to refill them. So you do have to be careful about how you cut it in half. You want to keep as much skin intact as possible. Now, one of the things that I like to do is I like to use a grapefruit spoon because it has little edges on there and it makes it a lot easier. But I do not have one right this minute. So you're going to see that I'm just going around the edge, kind of carving out some space. Almost there. To make sure that I have, and I'm going to put it with the other 3 potatoes I already did. Just to be a little proactive so you didn't have to watch me do this 4 times, because this calls for 4 potatoes. So I'm just scooping out the insides of the potato. Sorry, kind of had it towards me. It's usually how I work, right? We all have those tendencies to work whatever makes it work in our hands a little easier. So you can see I'm trying to get as much of this out as possible without compromising the sides. Some of them came out a little bit easier than others. If you were to look in my pan, you can see some were amazing and some, it doesn't always matter. And the reason it doesn't always matter is because once we put the product back in, you're not going to notice the difference because they're going to have it filled to the top with wonderful, wonderful tastes. So I've almost got this one done. You can see that came out pretty good. The skin is still intact under here. So now, that is, obviously this could change depending on what the size of your potatoes are, but that's 4 potatoes. And I'm going to add it right to our butter. We did two third cup of butter. So I had already softened, melted a little more than I had planned, but I already had that in there. So I can just add to this bowl all the different ingredients that we have coming up. The next ingredient that I want to add is onions. We want you to grate your onions. I'm not doing this on camera because me and onions do not agree. No matter what I do, my eyes start to tear. So I usually use like a little food processor to kind of get all of that done because my eyes just can't take it, and I definitely didn't want to do it on camera. Then we're going to add the milk. Makes it nice and smooth. Then I'm going to add the cheese. That is a cup of cheese, luxurious cheese, love cheese. And then this is a mixture of my cayenne pepper and my salt so that I have those together. And I'm just going to put those right in. And then, last but definitely not least, is the crab. And like I said, you can get crab from anywhere. You can get it out of a can. You can get it, there's a lot of different Florida crabs that we have, and I'll tell you, my favorite is the golden crab. I love going to our local seafood market and getting some golden crab when they have it in. They don't always have it in, so it makes it for a special time. And then we're just going to mix this together. Now, of course, you could use, and I'm going to start with my fork, you could use a mixer if you want, especially if you want it to be really, really smooth. Sometimes I appreciate having texture. And really, I'm just mashing up the potatoes is the main thing right now. To make it really, sometimes People want it really, really smooth like a mashed potato. I know there's a debate with different people. Some people say you should use a mixer to mash your potatoes to make it really smooth because that's how they like it. And then some people say, oh, I like mine with a little bit of lumps. It just gives it a little more texture. So this is the same sort of thing. You can decide what's going to work best for you. But my theory would be if you like your mashed potatoes done with a mixer, then you would probably want to utilize a mixer for this recipe as well. But like I said, it doesn't really have to be that way. You can utilize the little lumps and bumps with it in there because it's not just going to be potato lumps and bumps. You're also going to have some crab lumps and bumps. And if you are harvesting your own crab and not getting it from a can, you definitely will have different sizes of crab pieces that you may want to make sure that may give it more texture and more definition in your potato. So I have a lot of this done. Obviously, I could do this all day. I can always find more lumps that I feel like I need to press out, but I'm going to keep moving. Just going to keep moving. Use this bowl right here and put that in. And I'm just going to mix it. I'm telling you, this is one of the easiest recipes that you could ever do. I feel like the hardest part was shelling the potatoes, right? Otherwise, I'm just adding some ingredients, mixing it all together. But it is one of those recipes. It's one of those, anytime I have potatoes like this, I feel like it's, I don't know, it's a special thing because I don't do it, right? A lot of nights I'm coming home from work and I'm just trying to get things done, and I don't necessarily go through the process of getting this pre-cooked and then ready to go and then baked again. So needless to say, it's kind of a special thing in our house if we are getting these potatoes. So there you go. You can see, got it nice and mixed. Found one more lump, of course. Let's see if I can get that in there. All right. So now it's just a matter of filling them. Now you can fill it as much as you want or as little as you want. Obviously, it's up to you. I like to make them nice and full. And the idea with this is you have your protein right there already in the potato. So technically, you wouldn't have to have a protein with your meal, right? This doesn't have to be a side dish. A lot of times potatoes are a side dish. But this one definitely doesn't have to be a side dish, as you have a protein right in there. Kind of like the meat and potatoes, right? I'm kind of doing it quickly. I don't always go this quickly. I don't know why, but I just feel like you've watched me fill a bunch of these. But needless to say, you can see some I filled a little more, some I filled a little less. I'm almost there. There we go. Now you're always not always, depending on how well you fill it, but a lot of times you will have more left over than what fits back into that potato, because obviously I added quite a few ingredients. So that's just going to be the nature of it. If you love it, you might just eat it, or you may bake it, put it around your potatoes that are there, so that it can be a full casserole already baked and ready. I do that a lot with my stuffed peppers. But you can see I have quite a bit left over, but otherwise my potatoes are pretty full and they look good. They smell amazing. So with that being said, well, I don't really totally have magic of TV. Let me tell you what I do have. I'm going to grab a paper towel real quick because I have potatoey hands, so wash them in a minute. But I do have some already done, and I don't know if you can see it. So you can see some of my stuff spilled out on the side, which is okay. Absolutely okay. The other thing that we're going to top it with that was not that was on that recipe is some paprika, and it just gives it a little color. Look at them. Doesn't that look amazing? I love it. I can't wait. And you can never really tell what things smell like through the internet, but this smells delicious. I cannot wait to dig in and eat these potatoes, these crabby potatoes. So I hope you enjoyed the crabby potato recipe. I love it. I can't wait to dig in. And I hope you get to try it. And of course, let me know if you do try it, because I can't wait to see how you liked it. Thanks so much. Have a good day.